Hi, welcome to my channel. This is Sophia Ojukwu, real estate broker, coach, and entrepreneur. Thanks for joining. Today's topic is things that you need to pay attention to when you're making an offer to purchase real estate. So let's just get to it. So the first item in your offer will be your name. Who is actually buying this property? So, and how do you want to take title? So you need to be thinking about that. So you can take title as an individual, you can take title as a business, a corporation, LLC, whatever type of business structure that you have in place. You can put it in trust. There's so many different ways that you can hold title, but it's important to discuss that with your real estate broker and start thinking about it maybe with your attorney. So that's the first item that you have to kind of decide who's actually making the offer, who's the person that's going to be holding title. So, and then the next item that you're going to talk about is price. Price. Yes. So this area is an area that you definitely want to talk to your real estate broker with, or your realtor. So what they can do is provide you with a comparative market analysis that will give you an idea of what this property is selling for in that specific area. So based on that, you can structure your offer and figure out how to price the offer when you make it. So I know a lot of times property might be overpriced, and everyone knows it's overpriced except maybe the seller. But I always advise my buyers, if they like the property and it's overpriced, to make an offer, a reasonable offer that's based on market value, and see, because a lot of people that overprice their properties are, for some reason, they have this idea that they price it high and then they want to negotiate down. So but what it really does is scare a lot of people away, or some people don't see it. But in your case, if you do see the property and you like it, it's overpriced based on the analysis that you and your agent made, go ahead and make the offer anyway based on the fair market value of the property. You never know. The seller might accept it. There might be some room for negotiating. So I encourage you to do so. Now, the other item that you have to look at when you're making an offer is to look at all the personal property, making sure that all the personal property that's coming with the building is outlined in the offer. So if the refrigerator is part of it, or the washing machine and the dryer and dishwasher, etc., make sure that you check off, sump pump, whatever, the garage door opener, things like that. So pay attention to that area to make sure that all of those items are listed there. Okay, so then the other section that you want to take a look at is the financing. So you have the option of buying the property as cash or having it financed through a lender or mortgage broker. So in that area, you want to take a look at, making sure that you have a pre-approval letter. You can get a pre-qualification letter or a pre-approval letter. Your chances are better if you have a pre-approval letter, because that would be a stronger offer. It would mean that your lender or mortgage broker has taken a step has gotten more information from you, that they not only ran your credit but looked a little bit deeper before giving you a letter saying that they can finance the property. So the financing is a contingency and we'll talk a little bit about that. So after looking at how you're going to finance it, you want to take a look at some of the other terms that are there. So I always, when I make an offer with my clients, ask for a home warranty. Home warranty basically covers a lot of the items that are in the personal property item, plumbing, electrical, etc. Some of them include roof repair, so that after you bought the property and something breaks, you can have peace of mind and use the home warranty to fix some of those items. As you know how it goes, as soon as you buy it and you get title to it, something breaks, even though it was working before you got in there. So it's always a good idea to get the home warranty, even if the seller refuses to give it to you as part of the offer or the contract. Make sure that you buy it yourself. When you purchase it during a real estate purchase, you get the home warranty. Oftentimes it happens, I mean, it's active immediately versus, you know, months later you want to buy the home warranty. It's not active immediately. You have to, there's usually a waiting period from 15 to 31 days. So it's a good idea to get that home warranty as part of the contract during the sale. So, so you're going to look at that. The other item, of course, just wanted you to know this, that you're going to get 5 days attorney review. So this is a period of time where your attorney can review the contract and say yeah or nay with you. If you decide, oh, I don't want to buy this house anymore, you won't lose your earnest money. So, so that's another area just that you need to know, that when you make the offer and accept it, that you can still get out of that contract if during the attorney review period you find out some things that you didn't know before and you decide you didn't want to buy the property anymore. So if you cancel during the attorney review, you will get your earnest money back. So then the other item that you want to look at and be aware of is that you will get, at least in Illinois, you would get a 10-day period in which you can do your home inspection. If you listen to my other video, you'll see that home inspection is part of that whole process of buying property. So the home inspection allows you to hire an inspector that will come in to take a look at the building. This is after the contract has been accepted by the seller, to come and look at the property and see if there are any structural damages or violations, etc., etc. They look from top to bottom, so it gives you a deeper look into the property that you're buying. So that's another element that you need to be aware of, that you get during the whole process. So, so there are a lot of different items in that contract, but these are some of the ones that I want you to pay attention to. The fact that you do have time to do a review with your attorney, that you have time to get your financing in place, that you have time to do your home inspection. Also, I just want to mention the 3 items that's required when you're making an offer. So you need, obviously, to write up the offer. You need to have an earnest money. So now the earnest money is something that can be local depending on the property, but discussing it with your realtor, you can come up with the amount and they'll give you an idea of how much to put in as your earnest money. Understand that that can be negotiated. The seller might ask you to increase it, but that's an element of negotiation for the whole process of trying to buy the property. Okay, so you need the offer, you need earnest money, and you also need a pre-approval letter. So if you have those 3 items, then the offer will be sent to the seller for review and hopefully acceptance. Or when the seller gets the offer, they have 3 things that they could do. One is they could reject it outright and say, absolutely not, I don't want this offer. It makes no sense to me, I don't want it. Second, they could counter and say, okay, I see this offer, you know, I want to counter. There's some things I don't like about it, or some I want more money, or whatever. And they can counter your offer. And then third is, and the one you want, is that they accept your offer. And it has happened where you put in a full price offer and the seller accepts it and everybody's happy and you move on. So, so yeah, those are the 3 items you need: the contract, the earnest money, and a statement from your bank saying you have cash, or a statement from your lender saying that they're going to loan you X amount of dollars. Okay, so we've talked about the name area, we talked about pricing, we've talked about personal property, we talked about financing, talked about a review, attorney review, home inspection. So these are some of the things that you want to take a look at in the contract when your real estate broker or your realtor sends you writes up the offer and sends it to you and says, can you take a look at this and then sign it? You want to take a look at these areas and make sure that everything's done correctly and that you agree with the offer. And if there's anything there, hopefully you've already discussed it before she wrote it up and sent it to you. But if for some reason you see it and then you think, well, I want to talk a little bit about this, make sure you take a look at those areas. Okay, but also know that after you and the seller agree on a price and a closing date, oh, that's another thing. The closing date, when exactly do you want to close the property? So if you're using a lender, it's typically 30 to 45 days. But if it's cash, you can close in 10 days. Depending on what city. There's some cities now where, because of COVID-19, they are not able to get you certain things on time, like a water certification that's required in Chicago. That could take weeks. In fact, I'm about to close on a property in Chicago that took several weeks to get the water certification, but we finally got it, so we're going to be able to close. Okay, so I'm going to do some more videos around this subject, because each and every element that I spoke about has different nuances, different strategies that you can use to bundle your contract so that it becomes irresistible to the seller, and they'll be like, wow, I love this offer that you made. And we're finding more and more in the market now, because of COVID-19, that inventory is low in the market, but there's still buyers out there. And this is a high season, so we're often getting multiple offers in some properties, at least in the Chicagoland area. So you definitely want to take a look at how you're making your offer based on what the market is. If it's a buyer's market, seller's market, or so those are things that you want to pay attention to, what your agent is telling you. I know that people start online. I know that they go to Zillow and some other places and they get a Zestimate and all kinds of online estimates. I spoke about this on my other video, that you definitely want to just use that as a quick guide, but it's oftentimes those online estimating tools do not take into consideration a lot of stuff, and I've got a video that talks about that. So that's it for today. Again, I'm going to try and make some videos around this whole offer contracting piece of trying to buy a home. And also I might, if people comment below and say they want it, make another video from a seller's perspective when they receive an offer, what they should look at and how they should be thinking about the offer that's being presented to them. So thank you for joining. If this is your first time here and you haven't subscribed, subscribe. Hit the notification button so that whenever I upload a video, you will be notified, and don't forget to hit the like button. Thanks for joining. Have a great day. Bye.